Dear agnostic, observer of cages, free in the cathedral of trees, is hope bought with suffering? Is that the price? Is it the plot driving device? Even the abuse driven by the systems we are meant to propagate. The whip placed back into our own hands. God's love was dangled with terms and conditions. Rewind back. Remember the struggling. Christian mother, less energy to perform, fit in, knowing there wasn't time, feeling the faith drying, learning about the blood swept under the rug, the cover-ups, greed, white supremacy, the discomfort of not belonging, suffocating inside while the grass and birds called out to me. I didn't need to dedicate harder, endure longer, try harder. God's love led me out, and sticking through means leaning into the inner healing. My sight is clearing as I forgive myself again and again. Freedom was never a step away. It was always there, obstructed and stifled and hushed, labeled evil, self-serving, empty, rotten. Hope, always there, cleared the path and beckoned freedom to take its place. Nice. Okay. Eleanor. Faith isn't the journey to take yourself on. Before it was identity, self-preservation, shame of my weak humanity. I couldn't fathom a world where I was truly valued, where I could be who I wanted to be, where that could possibly be enough. My job was to decrease. My calling was to give all the space of me to the idea of a co-opted by empire myth of a mystic who taught the opposite of what they preach from their pulpits. Sin is missing the mark, not living love. Sin was being empty even though you were made of holes. We always were the living water. We always had the power and ability. Our divinity is a birthright and crown. It awakens and nudges gently to wake up, to remember that you are important. You are more than the pain of this meat suit, a higher self, a higher perspective, the longing soul come home to itself. I want to pray back the prayers. I make my own heart soft. With my choice to feel and grieve and care, I can do impossible things. My will be done. It's a kinder will than the most vocal crusaders of what Christianity has shown itself to be. I open my heart where it is safe. I'm not ashamed of my anger or frustration. I don't owe quiet, suppressed, meek supplication. My heart is mine. I renew my own steadfast spirit. The genocidal jealous God can go suck it. I came to this world with love. It didn't need to be put there. I don't fall short. How about Amelia's turn? Oh, Papa's turn? My Mama's turn? So I decided to do this thing that was very healing and very empowering, was to look back at old junk journals where I was in my deep evangelical thought processes and to write responses to them. So that's what this video was, looking back on these old thoughts that I see were so abusive and so not helpful and so just poop-tastic. Poop-tastic. I highly recommend, if you have any old journals, diaries, just collections of thoughts, sermon notes, just things that you thought were so, like, why am I not getting this? Gotta write it down, gotta work harder, gotta be more than I am. That's funny. It's like, woo. If you haven't destroyed them in the catharsis that is, then writing responses to them can be super powerful. in that brand of Christian world, and I say brand because I know there are Christians who are standing up to evil, that are not Trumpians, that are inclusive and fighting for LGBTQIA plus rights, and that are good people who are willing to let their faith evolve, and for darkness to be called darkness and light to be called light. There are good Christians out there. But for those of us who were raised in abusive Christianity and kind of figuring out like how I've deconstructed, but I still don't like myself as much as I should like myself. Where are some roots of that going back? Like looking at those old notes and rewriting them from where you are now, answering them from where you are now, taking back your power. Before, we weren't allowed to question the God that demanded genocide. His ways are not our ways, or, oh, that was the Old Testament God. That's not how God is now. Thought you said God didn't change. He was the same yesterday, today, and forever. There's so much in the Bible that is so contradictory, and you're just supposed to take the pastor that you are under the authority of, take their word for it. Trust me, bro. And not argue and not question and just be a good little soldier. And obviously when you're out of that soldier mentality, you have a few different options to just, I don't think about that anymore. I'm done with that. But some of us need to actually confront it and be like, no, I don't need to just make my goal in life to decrease, to not take up space. It's not worth it to let abuse and terror govern everything, because that's the cost of the ministry. You gotta not cause waves. You gotta support the pastor no matter what. You gotta kick out the abused and elevate the abuser. Notice how much they've changed and put them right back into authority, because look at how much good they were doing. It's really hard right now. But there's something so valuable and so empowering in being able to give ourselves permission to change and grow. And I hope that is something you can take from this video. Thanks for being here.